Hi, I'm Kirk Dando. Someone recently sent in a question, and what they said was that they were in the process of looking for a mentor or an advisor. And what are the characteristics or best practices of the greatest mentors? Well, this question is near and dear to my heart. And you might think that this is a convenient question for me to be asking because I do a lot of coaching and mentoring. And it is nothing at all to do with that. That's not why I love this question. I appreciate this question because out of it is born what has caused me to get into what I'm doing. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Is a long time ago when I was a C-level executive in an organization that was growing very, very quickly. I was young and I was clear enough to know I didn't know what I didn't know. And almost to an extreme where I almost felt like I had an imposter's complex. Like, are people going to figure out, is this going to be the day that they figure out that I don't know what I'm doing? Well, in the pursuit of that, I think a lot of executives that I've worked with and helped over the years have a similar type feeling. And in that, what we do is we start reaching out for help. Maybe board members. It may be getting into different type of organizations where there's other executives, other CEOs, perhaps, where we can share and learn from them. We also start to maybe think about looking for a mentor. Well, my experience when I was sitting in that seat was I had a lot of people that came in and they really knew what emotional buttons to push on me. They kind of knew what my insecurities were. I'm guessing it's because they had probably seen them so many times before and they built them into their sales script. Well, what I found out was about a third of the time, when working with a mentor or a coach or an advisor, about the first third of the relationship is usually magical. They're asking spectacular questions. They're shifting our paradigm. They're helping us to go deeper and broader. And then about the middle third of the relationship is you're kind of wishing and hoping that that spark and that magic returns. And about the last third of the relationship is where you just want to strangle them. It just get them away. So what is it what are the characteristics that I have found that I have learned over the years, both as a C-level executive and stepping into that world and doing that? I did it because I was so frustrated because I couldn't find somebody that knew how to stay in the first third. And I figured there's got to be a better way to do this. Well, some of the characteristics that I have found are one of the things that you want to make sure of is that they've walked a mile in your shoes. So they don't just have a Socratic method by which they're asking very insightful questions, but in fact, they have walked in your shoes and they've gone where you haven't gone yet. They've been through the highs, the breakthroughs, as well as the lows and the breakdowns. They know how to predict and prepare for the growth that's needed. They understand how to help you see around corners. They understand and have the credibility to help you understand the issues that growth and success will cause. So that's one of the key things of a mentor. The other one is that they really care more. They really care more about unlocking your potential than they do gridlocking your potential. Now that sounds a little bit funny, but let me explain what I'm talking about. So they care about unlocking versus gridlocking. Now, no one in their right mind, no one in their right mind would ever say, "Hey, I'm here to gridlock you and your organization." That would be the end of the conversation. So we've got to be very skilled at being able to decipher and read the tea leaves and kind of see what's really happening. So what I'm talking about is oftentimes as mentors come in and they're in that first third, we feel like they're unlocking. But as they slowly move to that middle third or that last third, they start to gridlock. It's almost like every time we turn the channel, there they are. They're on that channel. They've kind of run out of their plays that they have that they can really help you to grow and to mature and stabilize as an individual and grow and mature and stabilize your businesses. Okay, they don't just have a set play, but they are absolutely great listeners. They really listen to to what you need, where you're at, and they've got methodologies and processes and ways of asking questions and creating influence. The reason they're able to do that is because they're great listeners, listeners who know how to build trust. If you can't earn trust as a mentor with who you are mentoring, then it's really hard. You're not going to want to listen to them. You're going to always be second guessing and wondering. So they've got to have a process by which they know how to quickly build trust and elevate that along the way. The third thing that really great mentors understand is that they are three-part harmony. Three-part harmony. What I mean by that? Is one is they are a mentor. They have been there, they have done that. They are willing to come alongside, because trying to implement advice is like wrestling with a ghost. It's really hard to do. They're willing to come alongside and sometimes carry and sometimes get behind and sometimes get out in front, and they know when to do which one. But they're mentors that can help you see around corners. They help you predict and prepare for what's ahead. And they help you put in the people, the work structures, the processes to make that happen, and they help coach you along the way. They're not trying to get themselves in the limelight. They understand that's where you belong. That's your role. That's what you need to be doing. But they understand how to navigate being a mentor. The other part of it is they're a peer. They're someone that you relate with well, that you view as a peer. Not somebody who is, never done this, or somebody who has not earned the respect and trust of you, but you view them as a peer. Because sometimes you're going to need them to be a mentor, but sometimes you're just going to need them to be a peer. The third part of it is sometimes they just are kind of armchair psychologists. They help you just make sure and do a sanity check. They're somebody that can help you understand and read the situation, that can help you get clarity when there's chaos, and they know how to do that. So sometimes you need that mentor, sometimes you need that peer, sometimes you just need that psychologist, and they understand that they're three-part harmony. And the last, and it's not necessarily the most important, but I think it speaks volumes, is they're highly accountable. What I mean by that? They're highly accountable. This is the thing that got me into doing what I was doing. I remember being a C-level executive, and I was sitting there, and I would always have a stream of people that were coming in that could tell me what I needed to do to get better. They could actually explain my problems better than I could. They actually made me feel understood very, very quickly. And they earned trust pretty quickly because they were able to describe my situation better than I could. And I remember thinking, boy, if I ever did what you do, which at that point in my career I never wanted to do, because I hadn't had a lot of great experiences. I had people that hung out mostly in the last third, where you want to send them away. But I remember thinking, if I ever did what you did, I would tell people, if I can't add value, if I can't get the results that I'm promising within the time frames that I'm promising, then you don't have to pay me. Because I am either so confident in what I'm saying, and I also understand that you have dynamics in your organization, that you are unique, that you have your own unique set of people issues, your own unique set of growth issues. You have a market that may be a little bit different. That if I can't get that with those dynamics, then I don't want to waste your money. I might have wasted some of your time, but I don't want to waste your money. And they would back up away from the desk, and they'd say, we can't do that, Kirk. And I think they thought maybe I was going to be hard to get payment from, or they thought that maybe there's going to be a difficult engagement. That wasn't the case at all. What I was looking for was a level of commitment to their promises. So a highly accountable mentor, advisor, should be willing to say, if I can't get the results, then you don't pay. Because what that does is that causes them to really be looking ahead, holding you accountable, so you're engaged. Because if you're not accountable, your team's not accountable, then they won't be able to get their results. But then they should end the engagement and call the game early, which may be the very wake-up call that's needed. All of it's still helpful, but what's not helpful is to keep just turning the crank and turning the crank and moving from that first third where it's magical to that middle third where you wish was magical to that last third where you're like, what in the world happened? They got to go. So what are some of the characteristics or traits of the best mentors that I've ever worked with? They've walked in your shoes. They just don't have a process of a Socratic way of just asking insightful questions. They know where the bodies are buried. They help unlock your potential versus gridlock unknowingly or accidentally your potential. They're three-part harmony. They build that trust. They're that mentor, that peer, and that armchair psychologist, and they're highly accountable. They're willing to put their money where their mouth is. So I wish you luck in finding a great mentor. It's incredibly valuable. If you talk to the most successful CEOs and other executives, they have mentors. They have people that they trust. They don't put everything in that basket, but it is a basket that they pull in closely because they know that they're going to need that and you're going to need it. Thank you. If you have a question for me about what I've discussed, a follow-on question, or something else you just want to ask about leadership or growth, I encourage you to please leave it down in the comments, or you can go to kirkdando.com and leave it there. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you have a blessed day.